So let's continue with the next section of the video. Create a repository for all entities. So the first repository we need to create is an interface of account repository. So we have this interface, but I need to close all this tab to only have this. Yeah. And here in this account repository, we need to put first of all this annotation here, repository, to Springboard recognize this repository interface. Also, we need to extend our GPA repository and inject account class here. Also import our GPA repository, and here we have how we should know, yeah, we this oh my god, we need to import the class, and we have this method find by user ID. We're going to use this method in few videos, but more later. Let's let's keep here this method. So it's time to create also our account beneficiary repository. And here is another interface, account beneficiary benef- beneficiary repository. In this interface, account beneficiary, we are, we are going to make the same process, repository, and extend our GPA, import the class, import the repository GPA, and here we have find by account ID and also find by account owner ID, and we need to import the list. Perfect. And then we need to add another here repository called token repository. Here we are going to have we are going to make the same repository, extend GPA repository integer, and we need to have here find by token. Yeah, we use find by token to find the token from user or whatever. Yeah, and of course we need to add transaction repository here. It's another interface, transaction repository. We need to extend GPA. Yeah. Oh my god. We need to extend. Huh. What happened? Import the class. And here we need um, a list of transactions find by status. Yeah. And of course we need a list transaction find by account ID. Perfect. This or method we are going to use more later. Okay, let's keep all this perfect. And of course, we need to have a user repository. This is the more important. Yeah, we need an interface user repository. Perfect. We add the repository here, and we need to extend EPA repository, import the class, import the repository, and implement few method here. Let me implement few method here. Yeah. Here we only need a auctioneer. Oh my god, what happened? Auctioneer user, a auctioneer user find by ID. First, sorry, find by email. Okay, with all this completed, we can, for example, add here is done or task or create the repository for our entities, and of course we need to create our DTO with the request and response. For that reason, first of all, I'm going to close all these tabs. Let me close all tabs, and I'm going to create here the repository. Sorry, the repository is done. I'm going to create here some DTO classes like user DTO, and of course I need here um, login DTO, and we need here font DTO. Oh my god, font DTO, perfect. We have font DTO here, and of course we need other class like um account DTO, yeah, account DTO, and we need here user account details DTO. This is for the detail of accounts. So, and of course, I like to add here some new packages like response and requests. Perfect. So we have here request. Oh, let me put here we are other name request. Oh my god, the name request. Yeah, request, and here renamed response. Perfect. 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 So with the user, let's create our user DTO and add here the necessary getter and setter. We need to add here in our builder. Yeah. But now we are going to add here the necessary information when we're going to pass for uh, a user DTO because this is our data transfer object. So we need ID here. What happened? Oh my god. So we need or a string. Oh my god, what happened with this or stuff? ID. Let me. Okay, we have our ID. I go. I'm going to delete some of these file or these parameters in a moment. No problem. Okay, we need a name here. Or let me put the name here. And in the name are going to use not blank annotation. This is from validation dependencies. With that we can add here the name can be empty. The name cannot be empty. This is a message. And of course we need to add here for example the last name not blank is the same, not blank. The last name cannot be empty. The email For example, let me see here. I don't need any of this. I need here private string deny, and no blank deny cannot be empty. And of course, we need to have a pattern here. With this pattern, we don't allow more than, for example, this DNA must have a 9 digit to be accepted, and they and can be number. We don't accept letters. Yeah, and of course, we need to add or paste for here. For example, let me other private string paste for number, and we have a pattern here. Yeah, 9 digits, perfect. But here, I don't like. I don't care if this for this scenario. I don't put no blank in a password. Okay, we are going to be flexible in this scenario. And for email, we need to add invalid format, a pattern, and no blank. The email cannot be empty because the email is so important. And for the password is the same. We need a validation. The password must have at least 8 characters, including numbers and letters, and cannot be empty, of course. And we need to add here private string account type. No blank, the cannot be empty, and we need to set the fonts. And for this, import perfect font DTO. This is a way to uh, nested. For example, we have a user DTO. Inside a user DTO, we can nested a phone DTO that have different value. This is a way that JSON, the DTO work, and we can convert to a JSON with different nested and complex logic. For that reason, JSON is the best to create your interchain communication. And of course, we need to add here. Let me continue with account user DTO. And here we need to add or getters and setters. And we no argument constructor and or argument constructor. Also the builder pattern. And here we're going to have in this account only we need the user DTO and a listen account DTO. Yeah. And this is done. So we need to continue with the phone. With the phone DTO, we are going to have, for example, we need to add or let me copy this, copy here, and paste here this. We have for set getters, and of course, we need to pass the numbers string. And here, I'm going to make a validation here. For example, the phone number cannot be empty. Perfect. So with that information, we need to add the login. And this login DTO only have uh, two parameters. Like, for example, let me setters, and we need the builder pattern here. And only we need here email and password parameters. And we need a validation here, pattern, yeah, invalid formats. And also we need to add email valid. Yeah, this email valid is good to use, and no empty, no blank. The email cannot be empty, and of course we need to handle the password and not empty. Oh my god, not blank. The password cannot be empty. Perfect. So let's continue with account DTO. And here in the account DTO, we have all the information of the account, and we need to pass all the annotation here, and the information of the account. So let's check. We have the user ID, account time, create, the balance, the beneficiary ID, and the beneficiary email. Perfect. So uh, all the DTO are correctly, but also we need to add, for example, the request here. So account request DTO. For example, let's creator account request DTO. And here in this account request DTO, we have, for example, let me check here, account request DTO. We have all the getters and setters information. Let's check here. We have our builder, and we need a constructor with argument and a constructor without argument. But I only I need to pass here a private string account ID. Account ID. Okay, perfect. Okay. Um. Oh, this is not the way this could be. Let me refactor this rename. Perfect. Refactor. And we need to add another request like balance updater request. And here we only need this getters and setters amounts, and of course we need account ID. Account ID, perfect. And let's create in case we need a constructor and no arguments constructor, perfect. And of course we need beneficiary a request, beneficiary a request, and we need this here, and we need to pass here our account ID or email, and of course we need pass the account owner. We need the account owner here, account owner ID, perfect. We have a validation here because important is beneficiary name cannot be out. Oh, it's not the name, it's like beneficiary account owner ID cannot be known, perfect. And then we need the transaction request DTO. Transactions request DTO. We have the same. We copy and paste here, and we have string from account ID to account ID amount, string and here transfer type. Transfer type, perfect. Transfer type, perfect. Okay, all our requests are done, so we can move forward with the response. Okay, let's create our response. So it's time to create a response. The first response we need is user respond DTO. And indeed, and the response we need here, for example, is because we need add or annotation of lombok, and of course we need, for example, we here I only need the string ID, and I need uh, the local date time was being created, create add, or some data is not important now, it's more modifier uh, last login, and I need a token. I need a token, and of course if this user is active. And with that, we need to generate some constructor here. We need to generate a constructor here. We can use here generate constructor. Yeah, perfect. Our constructor is generate, and of course we need other constructor with a validation in a scenario the user going to be known. But what happened here? Inspect token. Perfect. This constructor is to fill all this information, but with this constructor we can for example validate if a user is equal to null. And here we can, this is not create, is creator. Perfect. Creator. Perfect. Okay, the user respond DTO is completed, so we need to add a respond DTO here. So let's create or respond, or and we need to add all this. And of course we need to all this is not, this is not all we want. Oh my god, it's crazy. We need to add private, and of course from account ID to account ID, status, yeah, the amount is important, is important. Also the transfer type, status, and of course we need to add here the create at local date time, the create at. Perfect. It's done. So we need the login response. It's easy to have the login response. You just here login response. Only we need to click and copy this. Paste here login response. Perfect. And the login response is a response with a token. We are going to validate the JWT token, and we need a beneficiary response. We need to have a beneficiary response. Let me create this beneficiary response, and we need to add the Lombo annotation classes, and with the different, for example, private string ID, pri string beneficiary user ID, beneficiary ID, email, account ID, account owner, and we need the local date time, private local date time, local date time at, yeah, the time this was added. Perfect. We are completed all our response requests in DTO classes, so it's time to update our board. So this is done. Perfect. So in the next video, we are going to continue with the service and implementation for all these entities. So let's continue in